Hello and welcome to Network News. Today we've got a very exciting story regarding the future of the DLR, as it's been confirmed that in next week's budget the government is planning to back a £1.7 billion extension of the line towards Thamesmead. This comes as part of the government's broader vision to deliver 1.5 million new homes by the end of this Parliament. As part of that ambition, they've set up the New Towns Task Force to examine the best sites for large-scale developments. It's recommended 12 potential sites for new towns, one of which is Thamesmead, specifically its undeveloped waterfront area. The Thamesmead estate was first developed in the 1960s, but was never really delivered to its original vision, and has since suffered from poor public transport links, being one of, if not the largest area in London without a rail link. With it now being identified as a potential site for new housing, improving the transport links to the area will be essential. Enter the DLR. Various options have been considered for how to connect Thamesmead to the rail network, including for an extension of the overground from Barking Riverside, but in the end, the preferred alternative is for a branch off the DLR's Beckton line. This would diverge from the line in a grade-separated junction north of Galleon's Reach, which would be designed in such a way that there's also passive provision for another potential extension to Barking. After this, it would run on a viaduct through to its first station at Beckton Riverside, which would be located at ground level just to the south of Armada Way. Whilst I've mostly spoken about the potential for development at Thamesmead, the stop here at Beckton Riverside is no less important, as there's the potential for up to 10,000 new homes to be built in the area, which often seems to get overlooked. Nevertheless, immediately after the station, the line would descend into a 1.3 kilometre long twin-bore tunnel under the Thames before emerging on the other side of the river in Thamesmead itself, whereupon it would ascend onto a viaduct running for about 400 metres before arriving at the proposed new station at Thamesmead. This is set to be built as an elevated station to allow for a further expansion of the line at some point in the future, most likely to either Abbey Wood or Belvedere. The station in Thamesmead is expected to unlock about 15,000 new homes, meaning the combined total across both sides of the river could be 25,000. It's also anticipated that completing the extension and the associated housing developments could create about 10,000 new jobs. As well as this, it would of course serve the existing residents in Thamesmead and provide another link across the river in East London, an area which, as any J Foreman viewers will know, has historically suffered from its lack of cross-river connections. People riding the new line from Thamesmead will be able to access destinations such as Canary Wharf in as little as 20 minutes, Stratford in about 30 minutes, and Liverpool Street in about 40. The line's opening would mean that trains on the Beckton branch of the DLR would have to be split between Beckton and Thamesmead, with each branch expected to be served every 8 to 10 minutes, combining to give a frequency of every 4 to 5 minutes between Canning Town and Galleon's Reach. However, TfL has also confirmed that it anticipates demand to grow as the development takes shape, so to accommodate a more frequent service to Thamesmead without overloading the rest of the DLR, it's been investigating the possibility for new turnback facilities at either Royal Victoria or Canning Town. This would allow for more trains to run on the line between Thamesmead and Custom House, which is likely to become the busiest section of the line, as commuters from Thamesmead will want to use Custom House to switch to the Elizabeth line for services into central London. Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, was delighted with the news, saying, "I'm really pleased that the government is backing the DLR extension to Thamesmead, something I've long called for alongside London's businesses and communities. The project is a win-win and a massive vote of confidence in London. It will not only transform travel in a historically underserved part of the capital, but also unlock thousands of new jobs and homes, boosting the economy not just locally, but nationally." The cost of the line is expected to be about £1.7 billion and is expected to be funded through borrowing by TfL and the Greater London Authority. This borrowing will need approval and backing from the Treasury, which is why it will need to be confirmed in the budget. Unfortunately, the line's confirmation means that TfL's other planned lines, namely the West London Orbital and the Bakerloo line extension, are likely to be put on the back burner for the time being, with no evidence that the government is planning to fund them anytime soon. Still, with the DLR extension pushing ahead, when can we expect to take a ride on it? Well, construction of the new line is expected to begin in 2027, and if all goes to plan, the opening date has been penciled in for the early 2030s. This is absolutely fantastic news for the residents of Thamesmead, who've been missing out on a rail connection for decades, and the new housing and job creation being unlocked across Thamesmead and Beckton can only be a good thing. It's also good to see that the line has been designed with the future in mind, with passive provision made for a potential Barking extension, as well as elevating the Thamesmead station so that the line can be extended further south. However, I do think it's kind of a shame that they're not taking the opportunity to extend it further into Thamesmead at this stage, instead relegating it to a future phase which may or may not happen. Still, this is overall a good news story, But I do have to say that investing more in London doesn't exactly look great for a government which has continued to cut schemes outside of London, such as the electrification of the Midland Main Line. It's well established at this point that the East Midlands is one of, if not the most deprived area of the country when it comes to transport investment, and the Midland Main Line electrification would go a long way towards addressing this. The government claimed that electrification was unaffordable, and whilst the exact costs of completing the electrification to Sheffield are unknown, we do know that it would be a lot less than the DLR extension, and that electrification has consistently shown to be a sound investment that pays for itself in the long run. Now, I'm not pitting these projects against each other, because the truth is that both are needed and would stand on their own merits, so it shouldn't be a case of either or, but there's no denying how this looks from the outside. Still, this is an exciting development nonetheless, and I look forward to bringing you more updates on it as it takes shape over the next few years. So subscribe to Network News for more updates like this, and until next time, thanks for watching. Oh, and whilst I'm sitting in the outro screen, I also have to say a massive thank you to J Railway Volunteer for providing much of the footage used in this video. You can find a link to his channel in the description.